At $3,700, gold is sitting at an all-time high, and at $42, silver is sitting at a 14-year high. So if you're looking for a small cap silver gold company whose flagship project has had over $14.5 million already spent on it by majors like Newmont, AngloGold, Bear Creek, and Rio Silver, then meet Magma Silver Corp. We got the CEO, Stephen Barley, on with us, as well as founder and director Michael Townsend. Michael's Magma's flagship project is an advanced silver gold system in Peru, in one of the world's most mining friendly jurisdictions. And their historic work of the majors revealed a large, high grade system. And Magma is now applying modern geological modeling to unlock its full potential, with drilling set to begin in Q4 to test refined targets. And Stephen himself said, at Magma, we're focused on unblocking the potential of silver and gold in Peru. Our upcoming drill program is the start of defining a resource that could have district scale implications. Lot to talk about. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you, George.
Thanks, George. Thanks for having us.
Hey, first thing I got to ask you, over $14.5 million was spent historically by majors like Newmont and Anglo. How did you guys get your hands on this? And what is it that you know that maybe they didn't know? Because that alone is a story we all got to hear.
Yeah, Steve, do you mind if I start this one?
No, please do.
Yeah, geologist by the name of Jeff Reeder, been in Peru for over 30 years, married a girl from Lima. I've known him since, 2000. He originally put the first half of the project together in 2007 in his company, Rio Silver, and it was called the Nina Bomba. It was originally owned by AngloGold, American. They were looking for gold. They found silver. So they subsequently optioned it to Bear Creek Mining, which is a well-known silver explorer in Vancouver. And they drilled a bunch of holes there. Subsequently, we've put a block model on their drilling that's significant, a resource already mapped out, drilled out. And then so that was half the project. And then in 2014, the company, the junior, was able to pick up the second half of the project, which was where Newmont had spent the $7 million US. They drilled 65 holes. They did an internal pre-feasibility study that came up with a positive move forward. They did met work. They did fatal flaw analysis. They said this could be a great mine. So that was how it all started. And then our company was able to option it from Rio Silver recently. We're a brand new company, and Rio Silver wants to focus on some high grade underground assets that they want to mine. They want to be in cash flow, and they want to leave the big exploration target to us.
So two things probably that are in your favor today, Michael, I have to assume, is the price of gold and the price of silver is significantly different from what it was in 2008 and 2014. That's got to be that. Are they kicking themselves, or was this too small? And when we mean too small, these guys are monsters. So it doesn't mean you're too small.
I think it was too small for one, although they did say it was expandable, the resource. But also they did a report and it said it was economic at even at $1,250 gold back then. So
Wow.
yeah, we think it's super economic at $3,650 gold today. It's right on surface, so very low strip ratio. It's very friable rock, so like a light crush. Metallurgy was 90% recoveries. So kicking themselves, maybe not. Newmont's a very big company, and they've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. They're making a ton of money. Stephen, you're the CEO, but you're also the lawyer in the group. So we've talked about this. They did a ton of work, and they've got some numbers, but you're actually not allowed to talk about the numbers publicly because they didn't file their numbers back then. So what can you tell us? What do you know about what their work revealed? Obviously, you guys think there's real opportunity here. Can you give us some context or some color as to, what you think you've got over there in terms of the gold side and the silver side?
Absolutely. And Newmont, as Michael pointed out, only had one half of the project, and therefore their work, their reports, all which were internal, and they were go no go decisions for Newmont. Big company, good work. And they decided it was going to be a successful mid-size operation with expansion capability. And then they determined not to proceed with it, meaning leaving it open for us. They set out in a conceptual model a very significant gold and silver resource just on their part of the property, not looking at the Ninabamba main, which was the Bear Creek AngloGold side, which we feel has huge potential.
Which
Yeah,
side do you
subsequent.
guys? Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
Sorry, well, just subsequent to the Newmont work and the Newmont report were all these trenches that were done in 2012. There was about $1 million spent in 2012, which is probably $2 million today. All hand dug trenches by the locals. They came up with some unbelievably economic and publishable numbers. 64 meters of a gram gold and 100 grams silver, one of our best trenches. It was unknown that there was gold on the Ninobamba piece. When Bear Creek did the drilling, they never assayed for gold. And so we have a new gold discovery there that's right on surface, running a gram gold on surface. And there's several of these trenches.
And the trenches remain open into resource. Newmont was looking for gold. They walked over a 2 kilometer silver anomaly on one of the pieces of the project and didn't even test it. And so we know that there's tremendous upside on both pieces of property.
And I'll
So,
add to that,
okay,
we
you
have a
took the words out of
crew.
my mouth.
Yeah, we
Go ahead,
we
Michael.
have a crew on the property right now on the 2 kilometer silver anomaly, and they're sampling it right as we speak, and we also have them going into an underground adit or a decline that Newmont never mapped or explored, and they're going to be sampling that with a rock saw. So that'll give us a big cross cut into this thing, a horizontal drill hole, if you will, underneath the existing drilling that Newmont did.
Which side of the company excites you? I mean, the company, sorry, but which side of what you've got in the ground excites you guys more right now? The gold or the silver?
Well, again, the what was anticipated originally as just a silver zone, where Bear Creek was and AngloGold was, we've made a new discovery there that there is a big gold system there as well, and it's this high sulfidation vuggy silica that everyone's looking for in Peru. Yanacocha, Purina, they're all the same chemistry. So that's extremely exciting. The exciting part about the other side, where Newmont was, is that there's a resource there. And as we were talking about earlier, we can monetize that resource fairly easy. This whole world is moving towards this tokenization of real world assets, and we've had a lot of interest from different organizations that want to help us tokenize that gold. So right now, we'd be at some small number, 20, 30, $40 an ounce in the ground. And, we think that there's a big delta between 20, 30, 40 in the ground and 3,600 in the bank or 3,700 in the bank. So we think that there's an opportunity to tokenize some of that gold that we know is there on the Jeremina zone.
And that takes care of the dilution, right? Where if you do it with the stock, you might face heavy dilution because not a lot of stocks reflect accurately their asset prices. So that could be really significantly less dilutive financing at the end of the day, Stephen. Is that
Yes,
what
and
you're hoping to accomplish?
that's the upside for the real asset guys, which George, we know that you are heavily involved in as well. And yes, that would avoid a significant amount of dilution, which through an equity raised in order to finish drilling the project out.
Yeah, so we'd just be
So
pre-selling the gold in the ground.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's too bad we can't actually talk about how much you've got there. So how long will it take if everything goes fine? Nothing goes perfect. I don't care what business you're in. I don't care if you're serving pizzas tonight. Even that doesn't go perfect. But if everything goes fine, how long will it be until you guys think you come out and tell the world we've got X ounces of gold, X ounces of silver? Ballpark. I'm not going to hold you to a specific date, but give us an indication of what that looks like.
Steve,
My
I think
personal
that's yours.
feeling is, I'll give you my personal feeling. My personal feeling is we're about a year, George, between permitting and, it also is this factor of how much funds you have available to do it. And if you have funds, you can always expedite. But I'm guessing it's probably a year till we get to a compliant resource.
The good news
What
is we do
happens then
have,
at that point, guys? What happens
well,
then? Again, just spitballing. It's a year from now. You've kind of confirmed what all the majors were telling you. You got some good numbers. I don't want to say great. I don't want anybody at the any regulators to think we're talking about great numbers already. But you've got numbers that make you happy, make everybody happy. What's your goal at that point? Do you guys want to actually start mining, taking it out of the ground, or do you just want to make yourself an acquisition target potentially? What are you guys thinking?
yeah, can I just add, I'll just finish from the previous thought that, you know, with the Newmont, I think we can say that they did drill 65 drill holes, and in order to corroborate their work, we only have to duplicate about 10% of those holes. So a lot of the work has been already done. So you know, our work would be just corroborating the existing data, and we have all the data. We bought all the data from Newmont, so we have thousands and thousands of samples. Um, so I just wanted to add that to, you know, that's where we sort of a big jump start on the resource because it's been done once.
Right. So does that mean
And
you might come out with a gold number sooner, Michael?
no, I still think it's a year, but
Okay.
because it's the calculation, it won't take us a year to do the drilling, but then you got to hire a company, an engineering company, and I'm just working on with my other company, Scorpio Gold. I'm just working on we took us a year to put the resource together there. It's a lot more drill holes. They have 1,600 drill holes. But yeah, it took about a year for the engineering firm to put all that together, and you know, a lot of old data as well, and a lot of different campaigns from different companies. So it's a lot of compilation, and of course there's a lot of liability involved. So it has to be done right.
All right. So we're starting to see the cadence, which is drilling. You guys will be coming out with drill results that hopefully will reflect what the previous majors have done. The market will start to do some back of the napkin math.
Hmm.
Then at some point you're going to hand over that to the to the independents, and they're going to take a little while. But fair to say then, Michael, it's not like we all have to wait a year. We have to wait a year for the final number, but will hopefully the drill results kind of speak for themselves.
Correct. Yeah, and then we'll be stepping out and trying to expand the resource a little bit as well as infill drilling. So yeah, there'll be lots of activity, lots of news flow, and really, you know, the other side of the mountain where the Nino Bamba is all these brilliant trenches. Some of them, as Steve mentioned earlier, ended in mineralization, so that, you know, 64 meters of mineralization. Well, it ended in mineralization, so it needs to be extended. So it could be 70 or 80 meters. So I think, you know, getting back and extending those trenches and getting drills underneath those trenches is really where we're going to see the excitement in the market.
Stephen, you've said that and you guys have brought the Nino Bamba a couple of times, obviously because you recently acquired it. You've said that it has district scale implications. Why do you think that's possible from what you're seeing right now?
The three properties together, so the Yormina, Randipata, and Ninabamba Main, there's an 8 kilometer by 2 kilometer anomalous zone through the middle of it. It's so, you know, it's a 40 square kilometer property. It's got big potential. Everywhere we've looked, we've found silver and or gold. So it has the potential of being a very large resource.
And I'll also add to that. It's not maybe it's you know, our geologist, we mentioned him earlier, Jeff Reeder. He often cites the fact that on the silver zone there's no contaminants, so it's pure silver. So, you know, a lot of people talk about it in silver equivalents, but you got copper, you've got lead, you've got zinc.
Right,
Uh,
right.
this is pure silver. So you know, if the economy crashes and zinc and lead and copper are going the other direction, you know, silver is going up. It sort of throttles it. But if it's pure silver and silver is what you love, why do you want a bunch of zinc, lead, and copper in there, and they're calling it silver equivalent because they're doing the math and saying, well, the copper is worth $5 and this is that, and so that's, you know, the X amount of silver, but it's not silver, right?
Yeah, I've never liked that, by the way. If it's a little bit, I get it. It's like you got a
Yeah,
bunch of silver and you got a little bit of this, so you
yeah.
make it a silver equivalent. But I start seeing it, people daisy chain a whole bunch of it's like
Oh yeah,
that's
sometimes there's
not
a
a
lot,
silver
lot
equivalent.
more base metals than there is silver in that silver
Yeah,
equivalent.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's crazy.
And
Um,
along that line, George, there is a significant lead and silver aspect to the Newmont numbers, but we don't include it because that's not our interest.
Yeah,
It's
that's in
you're
deeper
not
in
even paying
the
attention to
gold
that.
zone.
yeah, it's deeper in the gold zone. It's not what we're interested in. We will never talk in silver equivalents.
So going back to a question I asked earlier, and I love how we're going on these tangents. It's awesome because people watching and listening are going to find this informative, entertaining at the same time. But let's say everything goes pretty well. It's a year from now. Let's say we're near the end of 2026. You've got your numbers out. What's the plan of the company, guys? Do you go in there, start extracting and start producing, or do you say we want a JV or be acquired outright? And it may be too early to ask you this question, but I think it's important for people to know what's your exit look like potentially as far as your plan goes.
I think maybe both of us will answer that. I'll start. There's a model that we like to follow, or I like to follow, and it's called the Alamo Dorado project that was owned by Pan American back in the 2000s. Discovered by Corner Bay Silver in about the late 90s. They spent a few years drilling it out and then sold it for over $100 million for paper, which in turn the paper went up 8 times. So it was a very large, successful transaction for the Corner Bay people. We know about it because one of the directors of Rio Silver, which vended us the option, was on Corner Bay. And he brought the model to the attention of the head of Rio Silver and also to Jeff Reeder, who was our senior geological advisor. And it's right on, bang on. So if you look at what Corner Bay did, and we will be putting out news showing the comp very, very shortly. You track it through, you build it to a resource size where it becomes, it's somebody wants it more than we do and is willing to pay for it. And this was done $100 million when silver was $5. Not when it was 40.
How many ounces was it? Was it 100 million ounces?
No, there was, I think in measured indicated there were 77 to 80 million ounces.
Right.
Which is not a very
And a little bit of
unfair
gold
target.
too. I remember the production numbers were 5.5 to 6 million ounces of silver per year and about 20,000 ounces of gold per year.
Yeah, they were
Which
producing
today would be like $300 million a year.
Yeah.
in
No,
revenue.
they were producing silver, gold, doré that they in turn sent out for further refinement. It was the most profitable operation for Pan American Silver during that time frame, and they were looking at a 10 to 12 year mining life, 5 to 6 million ounces of silver for getting equivalent per year. Very, very profitable. And they were making money at $5 silver. Can you imagine what we can do at 42?
Right.
Well, and I want to talk
52 or
about that.
62.
Yeah.
And
No, I
also, I
want to
think
talk about that.
the CapEx is relevant too. The CapEx on that project was only $80 million. Obviously, that's probably doubled by now, but still, $160 million to build a mine versus billions for some of these deep porphyry styles or bigger CapEx deals. So pretty reasonable CapEx as well. So a mid-tier could easily, swallow us and put it into production pretty
Yeah,
quick.
just speaking to CapEx, this is going to be a very low cost operation. It's on or near surface. It is metallurgically very high recovery rates. There's nothing expensive about the process. So it's a perfect project for a mid-tier.
And time is on your side because we've got gold keeps making all-time highs. Silver has finally started to make its move. And Michael, you were just down at Beaver Creek, one of the biggest industry conferences. You had some pretty smart people there. You have the likes of Eric Sprott and people. You don't have fly-by-night guys who are just trying to get attention. What kind of numbers were they talking about in terms of projections on the price of silver and the price of gold in the next couple of years, if you can share that with us?
Sure. Eric Sprott wasn't there, but he was. I was just referring to his call at PDAC. He said $200 to $300. I think he said 60 to 70 by the end of the year, and 2 to 300 is where he sees silver going. I don't remember his gold number, but yeah, there was a lot of big hitters at Beaver Creek. There was a lot of new sort of U.S. players there, family offices that we didn't see in previous years. There was a real, we felt like we were being courted as I was there representing Scorpio Gold, my other company, and we had just taken in Eric Sprott invested in the company $3 million, and Ross Beatty put $5 million in my gold deal in the last 2 weeks. So we were doing a bit of a victory lap down there. It was a lot of fun.
And actually, we should bring that up because one thing about the this space is you need guys who really know what they're doing. I mean, geology is geology, and you need smart people around. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to pick up a bucket of gold, even if because they wouldn't know what to look at. Michael, you're the founder and you're a director, and you mentioned Scorpio a couple of times. You've been around the block. You've had some success. Talk to us a little bit about what you bring to the table in terms of that side, the entrepreneurial side, where you've grinded during you've succeeded during the good times, grinded during the bad times. You never switched to go chase unicorns, and now the good times are back. Tell us a little bit about you, and then kind of dovetail that into the team, because I did my own AI analysis of the team, and it's just a great team that you've got down there. But a little bit about you and the success track record that you bring to the table.
Sure. So I've been doing it for more than 30 years. I don't want to admit any more than 30 years. So probably just in the business for 30 years, mining, junior exploration for about 30 years, 1995. And we have had some takeouts. La Tigra Gold was bought out. It was a company I helped found, was a CEO for a while. That got bought out in maybe 2002. And then we founded another company that became NioCorp. It's on the TSX. They just did a
Yep.
$60 million offering recently. That was a rare earth niobium company. And then went on and founded another company called Defense Metals. It's in British Columbia. They also have, they're probably a 250, $300 million market cap. A lot of people say it's going to be a mine. It's rare earth as well in British Columbia. And and then more recently, Scorpio Gold is a company that I helped found with Zane Kalyan, the current CEO. And yeah, we've had it
Shout out
was a
to
struggle.
Zane.
Yeah, it was a struggle at first. With stock 8 cents, 10 cents, 12 cents, but finally we got some traction, and the stock has really started to perform. And then, of course, bringing in Eric Sprott and Ross Beatty as investors, we built a real great geological team. Leo Hathaway is our chief operating officer and head geologist, and he worked for Ross Beatty at the Lumina Group for the last 20 years, 22, 23 years. So it was him and his confidence in the project that brought Ross and Eric in. Magma shares an office with Scorpio, so we got 10 geologists in there, boardrooms full of
Love
high-powered
it.
geos and all the big investors that we have. So that's spilling off into Magma slowly. But yeah, you're surrounded by a successful company. We're in the nest of a company that's got a
And
lot
that's
of money.
invaluable, right? You can pretty much pick up the phone and call anybody, and you
Right.
won't just do it obviously on a flyer, but you've had the success, and as Magma continues to have success, it's fair to say that you can pick up the phone and say, "Hey guys, look our latest drill results. Here's what we're expecting.
Yeah.
Get more funding or whatever you
Yeah,
need."
well, I might even not
That's
have to pick up the
invaluable.
phone, is what I'm saying. They're all in the offices beside me and walking down the hall, right? So.
Stephen, the team, talk a little bit about them. And we're not gonna have time for you to go through a bio, but basically the management team and a little bit about the tech team. The guys who are really got their nose in the ground. What should we know about them, generally speaking?
Sure, I don't know how many years of experience we have in public markets on our board, but I've been around for, I hate to admit it, 40 years. So between Michael and myself and the other people, we've got approaching 100 years of experience in the junior sector. On the technical side, Jeff Reeder's leading the charge for us. As Michael mentioned, he spent 30 years in Peru. He knows the country inside and out. More importantly, as I learned from operations in Argentina and other places, knowing what to do and not to do within a country extremely important. Saves a lot of time and pain. So Jeff is our guiding light in that regard. The team we have down there working on the project, there's probably 60 plus years of Peruvian geological experience. So we know the systems. We know we have people who speak the language. We have a really strong team. We have an entire admin team based in Lima, which is something we piggyback on with Jeff, who also has a public company that does small scale operations. So we've got a strong team, and we will build on that as we grow.
I've got to ask you guys a question. You've almost made it sound too easy, like everything. So I have to be, I have to ask you, devil's advocate. And again, going back to my pizza example, I don't care if you're a pizza shop everybody's got a weakness or an Achilles heel or something. It doesn't mean it's fatal. Doesn't mean the company's not going to succeed, but there's always stuff you got to overcome. I don't care what business you're in. Give us the devil's advocate side. What are the risks that you guys worry about? And I know there's execution risk. That's for everybody.
Yep.
Potentially commodity price risk that applies to everybody. But for you guys specifically, I mean, you're in Peru. A lot of people, the layman, don't think about Peru as this great place for as a top place for mining. They think about Canada, the U.S. They think about South Africa, and so what's give me the devil's advocate side. What keeps you up at night, Michael? That you have to keep your eye on and be careful of.
Yeah, well, I was going to say a bit on the commodity prices when it relates to the financing cycle. So sometimes you get in this situation where, you raise money and then you do your work and you 5, 6, 7 months go along and you see, that you're going to need to raise more money. And the cycle, the commodity cycle is not with you. The prices are down when you need to raise money and the prices are up when you don't need to raise money. And you kind of get caught in this cycle of, having to raise money in a soft market. So that's what keeps me up. I think Peru is the second or third largest producer of silver in the world, and probably second or third largest producer of copper in the world. So it is a very successful mining country, and gold probably number 8 or something. So, Steve.
And to back that up, Steve, you guys actually had some phase 1 results come out today that confirmed and sometimes actually exceeded some of Newmont's historical work. You want to talk a little bit about that? We're not going to do a deep dive in geology, but it sounds like for phase 1, you guys had some great numbers today that everyone's happy with.
Yeah, the phase 1 was more geological mapping, sampling, more or less to confirm the numbers we have from Newmont, because it's new to us. We had some really good results. We had up to 14 grams of gold and 10 ounces of silver in one sample. If you do the quick math, that's $2,000 US rock. This is a very low cost. Yeah. And
because remember, layman people are watching and listening, so we got to make sure we make that clear.
Per metric ton. And so it's the cost of extraction and processing is extremely low because this is a simple project. Even our average grades were $800 per metric ton of rock. So it's an easy project from that side. I'm not worried about Peru. I've operated in Central Africa, so Peru is like going on vacation. It's a lot simpler than operating in the DRC. I've spent 10 years or 6 years operating in Argentina. So I'm not unfamiliar with South America. Peru, to me, is a very good place to be doing business. They're pro-mining. If there's only one negative, it's they're slow on the regulatory permitting side. But once again, we have Jeff Reeder advising us on where can we cut corners without delaying the permit process. That and Michael's comments on the market. It's always the market that's the biggest unknown, uncontrollable factor that we face. I'm quite excited about pursuing this tokenization process further because that takes a lot of the dilution and a lot of the market risk away from us.
Absolutely. And I would just add also, George, that we're not completed our phase 1 program either. Those were just some initial results from the phase 1 program. It continues on today. They're sampling a 2-kilometer silver anomaly that's on the Randy Pata property. And they're also going to sample with a rock saw, take a 100-meter sample in this new adit that they found. So we're looking forward to more results in the near future.
And these results will lead to a drill program probably a couple of months from now.
That's what I want to talk about because that's when, I mean, you guys just kind of setting things up a little bit, doing some testing, but give viewers or listeners at home a bit of an indication of the cadence. You start drilling, you're saying a couple of months from now, so mid-November, Stephen, and how long does the drilling last? And what's the cadence like with respect to drilling and the results and more drilling, more results? What do you think that's going to look like towards the end of the year and into the first quarter of 2026? Because it sounds like there'll be a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of information coming. The drill program will be expandable. As Michael mentioned, we've discovered an adit that was not referenced by Newmont. for good reasons, for corporate reasons. And in the adit, we are allowed to drill underground with a portable drill unit, saves a lot of distance, allows us to drill in multiple directions, and due to Peruvian mining laws, we're allowed to do that now without waiting for the formal permit that we're expecting for surface drilling.
Yeah, and I think the initial drill program will be just six holes, right, Steve? And I don't know how many meters, but
6 holes to start, and depending if we have some amazing visual results, then it sort of behoove us to continue with drilling.
right. And I'll even add to that we're very lucky because we get assay results. It's a local Peruvian lab, and of course we would test assay anything at a Canadian lab that we wanted to reassay and confirm. But we get really fast turnaround. I think it's around 10 days or less.
Oh, that's a dream.
That's a dream. So yeah, they can do a shift. They can drill these 6 holes and go home for a week, and then they can be back on back on the property in a week. So
that's exactly what we did between phase 1 and phase 2. We finished phase 1, and they went away for 2 weeks, and we started phase 2.
Yeah.
So guys, when do you think the first set of drills out starts coming out? Like before Christmas? Will we have, and so will you do a couple at a time, or just do all 6 holes, then release all 6 at once? What's the thinking there?
I think it is Christmas time, and it'd probably be a nice Christmas present for
I
everyone.
love it. And by the way, you and I didn't set that up. Nobody
No,
rehearsed that
we got gold under the tree this year, George. No coal.
Well, I didn't.
And
Listen, I
silver.
didn't even know that you guys were going to be drilling in mid-November. So as soon as said mid-November, they said 10 days
Yeah.
turnaround time. I go, okay, there's a couple weeks of drilling, 10 days. There's time to get these results out before. All right,
Feliz
guys, it's going to be
Navidad.
awesome, man.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, we're expecting to get drill results out before the end of the year, George.
That's gonna be awesome, guys. Thanks for joining me, man. We can keep going on, but this has been a great drill down. And what I love is we didn't get lost in geology. Great big picture stuff, and there's definitely a lot for investors to put you on the watch list, watch intently, see the progress, and we're gonna have you guys on 2-3 more times easily before then during that time. But thanks for today, and maybe some closing words from one of you, whoever you want to choose to kind of do some closing words.
Michael,
think
you're the
Steve-
orator.
Am I closing words? Yeah, I mean, we're real happy with where we're at on this project. I think we made a really good deal with Rio Silver. We got the thing for almost a song, and so not a lot. We have one more cash payment, and we have one more share payment in about 9 months. And I think that where we are with 34 million shares out and trading at 15 cents, I think it's stealing.
Yeah, I mean, if you do the quick math on that, you're under $7 million basically in market cap.
Yeah,
the way-
it's probably 6 million Canadian dollars. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and as
yeah, that's
per your earlier comment, George, it's not easy. There's no such thing as an easy mining project, but this is the easiest mining project that I've seen in the time that I've been around the market.
well, it's about time. Been doing this for 40 years. It's about
Yeah,
time
That's
you
right.
got it
It's,
easy.
it's our turn.
It is our turn.
Sure. If you're gonna get easy, this is when you want it. You don't want it too early because then you get spoiled, think it's easy, and then next thing you know, you're in the middle of Central Africa. This is when you want it easy.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us, guys. And for everybody at home, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's Magma Silver. Put them on the watch list. Track everything. Spread this interview. Share it with everybody. And watch with you guys come back on in the very near future. Until then, thanks for joining us. Have a great day. See you next time.
Thanks, George. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, George.
Hey, small cap fam. I hope you loved this interview because more than a dozen people were involved in its production for the sole purpose of making you happy. If so, can you take a moment to support both our awesome guest company and Agoracom? Your engagement means the world to us. First, if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up by tapping that like button. It's a small gesture that helps this interview reach even more potential investors to discover today's guest. Second, we would love to hear your feedback on this interview, so please leave a comment below. Be sure to keep it clean, but feel free to poke fun at George. If you loved what you heard on today's video and want to dig into our guest company right away, take a look at the links in the description below. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to never miss another great Agoracom small cap video. Thank you so much. We couldn't do any of this without you. Make sure to come back soon.